Hello everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to make these Boho bangle bracelets, and I've made 3 of them here using 6O seed beads and S-Lon cord. And the S-Lon cord is a point. And the bangle bracelets I got from Hobby Lobby. We'll be using those. You get 4 in a pack. And they go, and that's what we'll be macrameing around with the 6O seed beads. And they stack nicely. You can do all different colors. And that's what they look like. I used the Picasso seed beads that I got from Hobby Lobby. And it's so awesome we get to use our 6Os. And like I said, the bangles I got at Hobby Lobby as well. And these are chartreuse. No, these are Picasso matte canary. And the S-Lon cord is like an antique gold with it's a size .05. You could also use C-Lon if you'd like. It's like a regular C-Lon, I believe. You're also going to need a macrame board, and I'm using a piece of like a plastic baggie, and I'll show you how I use that here in a minute. So let's get everything in here. Let's get everything ready, and you're going to need some sewing pins or some T-pins, and here I'm going to show you how you put the baggie through the bracelet. And then you're going to pin on either side of the bracelet. And it's going to make that bracelet stand up. And you're going to need about 4 pins here. And 2 of my balls came off my pins, so I'll have to use my pliers. Let me find my pliers. And stick those down a little further, right on either side of that bangle. Here we go. Put the last one in. And there, it stands up where you can do your work. Now we're going to need, I'm going to say maybe 3 meters of cord for this bracelet if you don't want to run out of cording. If you want to go all the way around, you're going to need a nice long piece. Okay, let me move these out of the way. Get my seed beads poured out and ready to go. Alright. I love working with 6Os, and we don't get too often enough. So they're just not the right size for a lot of things. So let's put our cord through our bangle. Bring the ends together to where we can get an equal length on each side. Okay, and pull it down. There we go. Now we're going to make P's and Q's. So let's do our P first. See, we've got a loop on the right side here. Then you bring the left cord over that right cord, underneath, and up through that loop that you made, the P. Alright? And that's half of macrame stitch, but this is where we're going to start adding our beads. And so you want to add your bead on the opposite side of the crescent. There's a little crescent right there. Every time we do a stitch, that's the side we're going to make our loop on. So we're going to put our bead on the opposite side of that, on the opposite string. And these beads the holes are big enough. The holes of these beads are big enough to easily slide right through. You don't need a needle or anything. Just slide it on there, and then we're going to make our Q. So bring your loop over across the bangle. Make it, the way a Q would look. Okay, and bring your right cord over the left cord. And see, I'm working up close in that bead. Just once, especially on the first bead you put on is really wonky. So I'm going to go under everything, over the cord, under the bracelet, up through the loop. That looked really messy, but it worked. Right, and then you want to put your left bead on. Just feed it right onto the cord. And every time you put a bead on one side, your loop's going to go on the opposite side. So put your loop on the right. Bring the left cord over the right cord and underneath the bracelet and up through the loop. Pull. And there's your first two beads. Put your bead on the next side, on the right side. Make your loop on your left, always the opposite. Bring your cord over the left cord, underneath everything, the bracelet, up through the loop. And then put your bead on the left side. Make your loop on the right side. Bring your cord over the right cord, up under the bracelet, up through the loop. Okay, now that you got two sets of two, we're going to make just a macrame knot. A macrame knot consists of a P and a Q. So we made our Q. Now we got to make our P. Alright, and then we're going to put our, and then, yeah, you can turn your bracelet as you work to get it back to the top. And let's put our bead on the right side. You're going to put the bead on I was saying there that you're going to put the bead on the opposite side of the crescent. I did not have my microphone turned on, so I didn't capture a lot of my video, so I'm doing voiceover. So make your Q, go underneath the bracelet, up through the loop. Put your bead on and then make your P. Put your bead on the left side and then make your P. This is a great beginner project. And they turn out really pretty. Alright, put your bead on the right. And on the opposite side, make your loop. Bring the right cord over the left, underneath, and up through the loop. Put your bead on the left. And then make your P with your right cord. Bring the left cord over your right cord underneath. Go underneath the bracelet. Grab hold of it and bring it up through that loop. Beautiful. You have to keep pulling tight when you're working on this metal bangle, because the thread wants to slip. And we're just making our macrame knot here. One side, we did our Q and then our P. And that's just a nice little way to show thread. See how the thread on when the beads are attached, see how the thread is very sparse in between. And we got a nice shot of thread there. And then we'll just add the bead on the right. You can tell which bead you need because it's up farther than the one on the left. And we'll make our Q, bring our thread underneath and up through the loop. And you got to pull tight. And then add the left bead. And bring the left thread over the right thread, up under the bracelet, and up through the loop. Alright, continue going all the way around, come back and we'll close off the bracelet. Alright, we need to remove this plastic, take the pins out. When you can't turn it anymore when you turn it and the beads are in the way, you can't spin the bracelet any longer, It's time to take this plastic out so we can finish the rest of the bracelet. And now that we have something to pin to the mat, we will take our pins and go through a bead on each side. And then we'll take our other pins and stick it down through the cord on each side. And that will hold your bracelet up so you can work with it. You might have to take them back out and turn your turn your bracelet so you can get to the bottom half here. After you've worked a little longer. And I wanted to show you, I'll tell you also, if you work out farther on your cording, if you don't grab up close, but work out a few inches back and grab your cord there and work from there,
put my bead on.
Your bead won't slide down as bad.
And instead of working up close like this to the beads, it'll start falling off. So, it'll fall down. So I'm giving a lot of slack. I'm working real down farther on the cord. See this? I'm going all the way down. I'm going to go under, and then through. And the bead should stay in place. Alright, and we just continued to go down, and we did our last 2 stitches in between the last 2 sets of 2 and the first 2 sets of 2 we did. And we want this to hold and not come apart. So we're going to take some GS Hypo Cement, and we're going to put it right in on the thread there in the knots. Make sure I pull it tight. And then I'm going to turn it over and even do it on the back. This is the only place that could come apart, so glue it well. Alright, leave it sit overnight before cutting off your strings. Now I did not have to, I had plenty of thread. I think I used about 3 meters or so. But if you do have to, change your, add thread, you just kind of clamp this to your bracelet bangle or whatever. Okay, the old thread, and then you just start macrameing right over top of the old thread, and then after you get down a couple inches, you can cut off, or however far, you don't have to go 2 inches, but after you go a little while, you can cut these tails off, and you won't even be able to tell that you added thread. All right, so there's that one, and here's the other 3. Like I said, they're sold in sets of 4 bangles at Hobby Lobby. It's a Metal Gallery is the brand and the section that it's in. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.